Hello and welcome to this quick channel update. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's the best we can get. That's the best we can get. Been forever since I played this, but let's do that. But yeah, so it's been a while, but this is... Oh, I don't have a save. We'll just start a little nonsense game then. This is another game that I eventually wanted to do, but so update. Oh, there's a lot to update on. So, for starters, I think what I'm going to say is, well, let's talk about our schedule first. So, you know, Fighters Anthology continuing as normal, Command and Conquer continuing as normal, Delta Force. I feel like we're starting to get to the end, so...
That's good, yeah. What's this?
So we might be finishing up on that soon. But really the big thing is again, Undercover Operations Kursk is going to continue as normal. The big thing is I'm officially putting Star Trek Judgement Rites on hiatus because well, there was an incident that happened last week. There was a drunk driver that plowed into our garage. There's a T intersection behind our house, and so he
They cannot defeat me with their slender arms.
I like how he's just like, oh, I'm bored of fighting. Walking away. I'm going to be the bigger man. But in any case, so there's a T intersection behind our house, and a drunk driver didn't turn at the T intersection. Instead, he went through the intersection, up over the curb, through the neighbor's backyard, through their trees, through the back of our garage, not the front, the back, where 90% of my belongings were stacked. And then he ran off. Fortunately, he left his vehicle, so it's only a matter of time, you know, before the police find him. But it's taken up a lot of time, and that plus with being busy at work, because things are really ramping up there quickly. I thought I didn't expect things to be so so busy there, but it is what it is, you know. So but yeah, you know, everyone here is all right. They didn't damage the house. They didn't damage any of our commuter vehicles. It's mostly junk, more or less, that got destroyed, you know, like video games and movies and books that were in storage, collector's items. Biggest casualty really is the garage itself, which, you know, has a big hole in the back now. The windows are shattered. It's knocked off its foundation. And my dad's classic Mustang, that took a hit, but it's fortunately repairable. But yeah, you know, just kind of picking up the pieces. We spent a couple days just cleaning debris out. We're still cleaning debris out. We're starting to try to, you know, get the stuff that is clearly not damaged out to clear up some rooms so we can go over everything else, you know, and start logging the things for insurance. So if I sound a little dull or a little quieter than normal or tired, it's because I'm dealing with that on top of working, you know, like 10-hour shifts in my regular job plus overtime, you know, because, you know, the job doesn't stop because of what's going on in our life. So, but yeah, that's kind of where things are at. So to that end, I know I keep planning and I keep trying to get around to finish Judgement Rites, but I just haven't found the time. And now with this, so I've been thinking about doing this for a while, and I think I'm finally going to actually do it. But yeah, Judgement Rites is going to be on hiatus for now. When Undercover Missions Kursk finishes, then I'm going to move that in to replace it. And then we can finally get Judgement Rites done. And then hopefully, I think after Judgement Rites, next game would be Starfleet Academy, maybe? I'd have to go through and look at the list and see which one comes next chronologically, more or less. But yeah, and then maybe that I could, you know, it's the thing with Judgment Rite is, you know, it can be like a 2-hour session to record that. So, you know, that takes a fair bit of time. And yeah, energy too, more importantly. You don't want me, you know, falling asleep halfway through. And again, I love the game. It's not boring, you know, I find it interesting. It's just that time commitment to do it in one go. And yeah, I suppose I could do it in halves, but I find it's easier to just do it in one go, because then you have issue. You don't have the issue where it's like, okay, what was I doing last time? What was my goal? You know, so you're, you know, relying on either remembering it or writing it down, which we were pretty good about writing things down, so that's not an issue so much, but. Record. Oh, there. Okay.
Room construction underway.
But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Oh, and the reason I'm using Evil Genius for this video is because there is a promotion going on. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I believe not only can you get the soundtrack for free somehow, but there we go. Now we can get up to 11 workers, but you can also get the game for free on Steam. There's a few conditions. You gotta make like I just briefly skimmed the email because I bought this back when it came out, you know, when it was back on disc, and then I bought it on Steam just in case my other copy failed, and on top of that I have one I downloaded from the internet, which I don't feel guilty about. The only difference, because, you know, I bought the game twice already, at least. I might have even gotten it on GOG too if it's on there, but, where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. But the big thing is, so I downloaded it, just because that included a little bit of extra content, like extra henchman, amongst other things, and maybe like one side quest somewhere or something. And he's not even all that useful. So, there's also some unofficial, or no, I didn't get a pirated copy. I think that's all in the unofficial patch. Yeah, so I have my copy with the unofficial patch, which adds in a bunch of bug fixes, because this was kind of a buggy game back in the day. Fun, but, you know, add bugs here and there. But it also added in the some of the pre-order content, which again wasn't much, but, you know, I like having the option at least to recruit them if I so choose. But yeah, so right now, I think the process is, and again, you know, because I own it, I didn't look at it too closely, but I think the process is, you go to Rebellion, who own the rights to this, and they're making the sequel/reboot now, Evil Genius 2. You make an account with them, you link it with your Steam account, and then I think you wishlist Evil Genius 2, and then you get this one for free. And I highly recommend this game. It's a blast, because, you know, you don't get too many games from the Evil Genius's perspective. I know I was ranting about this a little while ago, but, you know, this is one of those games where it's like, you get to be the bad guy, and it's fun. And they do it in a tasteful manner, too. We're not far enough to see, unfortunately, but you can see kind of how they build the rooms, and, you know, the comically oversized stacks of dynamite, and our, you know, our red-eyed minions. We have our evil samurai. We have basically Dr. Evil here, you know, and You get to torture people tastefully. I mean, it's like silly things like depending on, you can torture them on various instruments. Like just use a standard interrogation chair where, you know, the guard will smack them around a little bit. You could put them in a mixing bowl, like an industrial grade mixing bowl, and spin them around until they're dizzy. You can, I think there's one where you can actually like tickle them to death, which is amusing. And there's some complexity too. I mean, you've noticed they have different stats here: health, loyalty, the smarts, attention, and endurance, all which do different things. And you can get social minions to target some of, like, to wear down the stats of enemy agents. You know, you have military minions like mercenaries and guards who can use rifles and machine guns to defend your lair. You can, eventually, you can unlock the world, which I'm kind of slowly doing now. But you can unlock the world and, you know, send minions out on missions there. It's really cool because like a boat will come into this dock, or a helicopter will come into this landing pad, and all the minions will go out and board it, and then it will take off, and then you can see it go and do its thing on the map, which is really cool.
Object purchase order confirmed.
And we can move this guy in here.
Object will be moved shortly.
So this is, as you can tell, I've played this enough to know more or less what to do. Because I think all we gotta do is build up a basic control room and move our strong room indoors, and then we're set. And you can see our currency is piles of gold bullion, which get converted into cash briefcases, which they use to buy things for our island. Here we see some minions resting peacefully after a hard day of work on top of the sheets in their clothes and shoes, as most video game characters do. And yeah, you can level up your henchmen. They get 3 lives.
At once, Sensei. I live to serve.
Yeah, I think they have to be killed by a super agent, so like, you know, James Bond or Rambo or something like that. But they can be killed up to 3 times before they're permadead. So it's kind of like a ode to
Room demolition imminent.
James Bond there, you know, where, like, you know, he keeps thinking, oh, I got rid of the henchman, and nope, he's back.
New objectives available.
There, now we have the world map, so you can see where, you know, there's 5 global alliances, you know, basically US plus Japan and Canada, Mexico versus the Soviets
Now available.
and Cuba. You have Europe and their colonies, and then you have Smash, which is basically the unaligned rest of the world. But yeah, and then you can go and, you know, you send some workers out. They can steal, they can plot, which reveals more of these little operations you can undertake. Right now, I imagine these guys are, yep, he's saddling them up for a mission. Okay, we have access to the armory now, so we can, so now we can start giving them, like, handguns and stuff, and rifles for guards. One of the next missions is just, you know, to build up a little notoriety and then get some experienced people to train. Because that's how you actually progress, is you get basically a trainer from the world. Like, you capture a SWAT operative who's, you know, gone off on his own or something, or a hotel maid or something like that, and you interrogate them, learn their secrets, and that minion will basically become them. And, you know, like, you know, they'll become a guard or a valet, and then they, once you give them the proper equipment, they can then train other workers. So it's a really unique system, and I love it. And I know I promised to play JTF after, or the Joint Task Force, or whatever the game was called, a while back once Command & Conquer was finished. And I think I'm still going to follow that promise through. But after. Yeah, I love the Soviet-style helicopter they got here. Like, kind of reminds me of a mix between the Helix a little bit and maybe the Mil-17. But... And now he just flies off in the distance. In the meantime... Okay, you can see here on the world map. The helicopter would fly in, drop them off, and fly back. But then you can, you know...
Commencing mission.
You can commence your mission. And if you build up your control room, you can see these values then... but you need to beat the control room values. So here you can see we need 2 control room panels to build, to actually like see what the hell's going on there. So we'd have to build in staff 2. And there's options for, you know, staffing. Like you always have a little extra or a ton of extra people or just barely enough. Or you could shut the room off to conserve power. Oh yeah, there's that's your first worker is the maid that decided to take a vacation on this island. Yep, here she is, and you can kidnap her and learn her secrets, so you can build an army of valets. But I think that's a little beyond the purview at this point. You can see our workers are suffering some attrition from this mission, and that they suck at everything. But you know, they're free unless you want them fast, and they cost like up to 2,000 per.
This is the Sahara event, covering current events across all of Northern Africa. Our big story is the shocking raid that took place earlier today. The identity of those responsible is still not known, but Smash is reported to have several leads they are investigating. And now, the weather. The outlook for the Sahara is the same as usual. Drier than a dehydrated cream cracker on a sunbed.
Oh my god, the radio broadcasts. I forgot about those. Every time you do like a plot out in the world or something, and sometimes with special story events too, I think you get that radio broadcast on mission success or mission failure, and they are amazing. They're so... That shit would never fly today because they're so stereotypical and in some cases outright racist, but goddamn, it's hilarious, even if it is sometimes in poor taste. But yeah, I think that about sums it up. Free Evil Genius car crashed into my garage, and when Undercover Missions is done, we'll be finishing Judgement Rites, and when Land Warrior is done, we'll be moving on to Task Force Dagger, and when Command & Conquer is done, we'll be moving on to the Act of War, I think the game was called. Yeah, Act of War, Direct Action, something like that, which was requested by one of the viewers. So, in any event, I hope you enjoy your new free copy of Evil Genius, and with that, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.